Welcome back to our channel, and if you're new here, hi! We're Nitesh and Sonal, and we make travel videos so that you can see the world through our eyes. Usually when people talk about Turkey, it's hot weather and beaches, but we went to Istanbul in February, which is the coldest month of the year. When we landed, it was snowing at the airport, but it wasn't snowing in the city. It's a great time to visit because everything is still open, there are less tourists, so the queues are shorter. Also, the flights and accommodation prices when we did our research were cheaper too. If you're from the UK, the weather is not too much different and you just need to pack some extra layers. Definitely need a coat, a hat and a scarf and you'll be fine. And the rain isn't torrential like it is in the UK, it just trickles for a bit and then that's it. Let's start by talking about accommodation. So we decided to go with an Airbnb. There are lots and lots available and I'll leave a link to ours below. If you're planning to visit the main sites like Hagia Sophia and Blue Mosque, we would recommend staying in the Old Town Sultanahmet, which is where we stayed. We stayed in the neighborhood of Fateh, which is about 10 minutes walk to the main sites. There are lots and lots of food options available in the area. You might have to walk a bit just to find the best places, but I'll come back to that later on in the video. If possible, try and pick accommodation near a tram stop because it will be so much easier for you to get around. This was the main way we travelled around. If you want more of the nightlife, then I would recommend staying near Istiklal Street. There you will find lots of food options too, but with lots of shopping and bars as well. The Hagia Sophia and the other mosques are free to enter, but some of the other sites require tickets, and you can either buy the tickets at the desk or you can buy them online to save you time. But we would definitely suggest going early in the morning just to avoid any of the queues. One question I saw a lot when I was doing research for this trip is how to get from the airport to our accommodation. So we decided to go with a private transfer. We heard about the taxi scams and to be honest, we didn't really want to get stuck in that our first time in the city. We also arrived at night and we didn't have a SIM card, so we didn't have any roaming on our phone. So for those reasons, we kindly asked our Airbnb host to book us a transfer and it cost us 40 euros each way, which seemed pretty reasonable. No matter what time of the year you visit Istanbul, definitely bring comfortable shoes. Istanbul is hilly, the hills are steep and some of the streets are cobbled, so you really do need your most comfortable shoes. Having said that, the best way to see Istanbul is by foot, and the city vibe is so inviting and exciting in the day and night, so you definitely do need to walk around to see the best of the city. We're not really night owls, so we didn't stay out super late, but it does feel very lively even at 7 PM. It also feels really safe as well. Like any city, you have to be aware of your surroundings and be aware of pickpockets as well, but luckily we didn't encounter any problems on that front. The next tip that we would recommend is getting a SIM card. You'll need it for booking taxis, organising tours and generally just getting around. Don't get one from the airport though because they are really overpriced. We got one from a small shop and we paid 700 Turkish liras. We got 40 gigabytes for a 90-day SIM. If you book anything like a meal at the restaurant or a tour, then they may require a local number, so it's really a good idea to get a SIM card. 40 gigabytes was more than enough for our 5 days in Istanbul. We used it mostly for WhatsApp and Google Maps. Google Maps is your best friend in Istanbul. It was very accurate, we never had any issues getting to the places we wanted to go to, and it's also great for seeing what's around and checking out Google reviews. Just as a general rule, it's probably a good idea to check Google reviews and TripAdvisor for anywhere you go to eat so that you don't encounter any issues. And don't forget to leave reviews yourself to help others. As I mentioned before, the main way we travelled around was by public transport, and it is the best way also to travel around. We don't suggest hiring a car because the roads can be narrow and the traffic is really terrible, plus parking is an issue too. The trams are very regular, they come like every 3 minutes and they run on time. They can get busy, especially because the locals use them to commute to work, but it's still worth getting on. That brings me to my next tip, which is getting an Istanbulkart. We got ours from a small shop and paid 70 Turkish liras for it. You can use one card between 2 people and you just tap and go at each station. It can be used on trams, metro, buses and ferries. One scam that we nearly got caught in is that you can see people nearby the tram stations trying to sell you the Istanbulkart, and they will try and sell it to you with a balance on the card. Don't go for those because you'll pay way over the top for it. Just get a card and top it up yourself. You can't go to Istanbul and not go shopping, but you need to be savvy when it comes to buying souvenirs. The Grand Bazaar is so big and it's easy to get googly-eyed over all the pretty things. I know I did, but it is overpriced and it is very touristy because locals don't really shop there. We would recommend shopping around and haggling for the best price. Istiklal Street is great for shopping too. You get a good range of shops from jewelry to clothes to major makeup brands. Most places in the Grand Bazaar and Istiklal Street accept card, Turkish liras and euros. Some will also say that they accept pounds and dollars, but just be aware of the exchange rate they quote you. We would suggest using Turkish liras everywhere, but you can take a few euros with you as well. Also, the exchange rate was actually better in Turkey than in the UK, so you may want to take some of your own currency and change it there, or use the vastly available ATM machines. Just be sure to check the fees that may apply on your bank card. I can't do a video on Istanbul and not mention food. Food is abundant in Istanbul. There's so much choice of baklava, kebab shops, and my favorite, there's so many coffee shops. Be sure to check out the ice cream vendors too. It's a great experience. Finally, the thing that makes Istanbul amazing are the people. The people are so friendly, and there is sometimes a language barrier because not a lot of the locals will speak English, and because Istanbul is such a melting pot of different cultures, there are people from all over the world over there, so you may find that they don't speak the same language as you. However, they're always willing to help and they will try to do their best to accommodate you. We do recommend learning some basic Turkish words because they really like it when they see tourists making an effort to speak their language. Plus it's cool to learn a new language. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments box. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future travel videos. Thanks for watching, bye!